Charlotte Lewis here from Concordia University St. Paul's Writing Center. This short video demonstration will show you how to create lovely hanging indents. The first thing I like to do is to make sure that my font is all Times New Roman 12 point. My margins are 1 inch on all sides, and that everything is double spaced with no extra spacing, which it is. Having checked that out, first thing I do after that is to turn on my ruler. If I go up to View on the toolbar, I see a little box under Show for Ruler. I just click that on, and voila, the ruler appears. I also want to turn on my Show and Hide tool. If I go home, it's a little icon that looks like a backwards paragraph mark. Click on that, and that will show me where I have my return. It will also show me where I have a space between words. This will come in handy because we want to make sure that we only have a return at the end of each entry, not at the end of each line. So here's one entry, and I have a return. Here's another entry, return. Once I have all that figured out, I make sure my word references is centered, and I will highlight everything, all of my references under the word references. I will highlight them all, and then I go up to my ruler tool, and I change the position of the triangle. So instead of a half-inch indent on the first line, it will be flush left on the first line, and I grab the middle triangle, or the bottom triangle, not the rectangle. I got both, but that's okay. I moved them to a half an inch. Then I go back up to the top, and I said, get back over there. And there are lovely hanging indents. I'm just going to turn off my highlighting and see if everything works out okay. It worked out pretty well, except for I noticed that there's a little gap here, and APA does not want a gap, so I'm going to go down to my URL and eyeball what will fit into that space. I'm going to put my cursor after the period. You can do it at front spaces, front slashes, underscores, periods, question marks. And that's a good place to break your URL. So I'm going to put my cursor there, and I'm going to say Shift and Enter. That's called a soft return. Actually, another bit could fit in there, so I'm going to delete what I just did and move it over to after the front slash, Shift and Enter, and that fills in the gap very nicely. And now, since APA does not want it to be underscored, I'll put my cursor right where the Q is and put a backspace, and that removes the hyperlink. That's all set. So now what I will do is just go up and save it, and that's the end of our video. Thank you, and I hope that's been helpful.